A championship showdown in the West Catholic Athletic League. The Archbishop Mini Monarchs try to finish an undefeated season. They come in at 9-0, while the 7-2 Serra Padres look to get a share of that WCAL championship. And a very pleasant good afternoon to you from San Mateo. I'm George Devine along with Darren Arbet. When you talk about these Midi Monarchs, you talk about a great combination in the backfield. Dakari Monroe and Chandler Ramirez, two great running backs, but they also play a huge role on the defense.
They really do. You're talking about Ramirez. I like his size, 210 pounds. He's very powerful. He can carry the ball.
And when you look at this Serra Ball Club, you think big plays, and one of the big playmakers this year for head coach Patrick Walsh has been Kava Cassidy out of the backfield. Serra's one of those teams there, and you give them a little space, and they can hurt you.
Another powerful team, and Kava Cassidy, he can really run with the football. That 190-pound guy that's a slasher, has some power, almost 1,000 yards coming to this football game. He can really get it done.
A championship afternoon here in San Mateo. The WCAL schedule makers, when they made out this schedule several months ago, they couldn't have done a better job.
They couldn't have. I mean, two teams, one 9-0, one 7-2, playing for a championship. Someone's going to be crowned today.
And somebody could end up being the top seed in the open division of the CCS playoffs. We'll have it coming up next right here on Xfinity High School Sports. So pitch to Ringer, and Ringer's got room up the middle, and he sees daylight, and he stopped just short of the goal line. And it was Jalen Ratliff finishing him off. Ratliff, we talked about him as a speedy wide receiver, and there he shows his worth as a corner. Short yardage, Ringer for the finish, and he's in! Touchdown Raiders! And so Parrish and company trying to stretch their lead back. This is Pasquale, room to run. One man to beat is Gutierrez, and he's going to streak right in for the 80-yard score. And here is Donovan Townsend, and the quarterback will dance forward, then lose the ball. That is a fumble, and St. Mary's recovers it. 4th and 5. Big play here. Ringer on the sweep. Ringer is stopped short. Kelly controlling it for San Francisco. He has De Leon. Dons look to stretch it again.
Good play, intricate passing through the midfield. Big shot.
Jamison fires and scores for the Dons win!
Wow, what a shot. It looked really good. Good play through the midfield. They're celebrating.
And so San Francisco ends more than a month of losing and captures a huge win here tonight at Santa Clara. And this one comes out to BYU. Fernandez on the throw-in. Fernandez leaving it deep for Thorncock. Thorncock up to the front of the goal for the Cougars. Jepson Smith, it looked like, out at the head of that break and found the hole for the scores. Huerta, one of those players, hearing the message, working it along the near sideline to Johnston. Johnston's got Marlborough up ahead. He's got Huerta on the left, leaves it for Huerta. Huerta going one-on-one, fires and scores! Huerta challenged by Johnson. Now Marlborough over to the far side. Johnston's getting ahead. Here come the Broncos. A shot and a score! Wow. Great penetration by Spidell. Barter out of the corner. And Beeston runs it down. BYU on a little mini run right here. After falling behind by 8, they've scored the last 4. Eaton plays it in. Gaines wanted the charge call. Eaton for 3. That one hangs around in the air a little bit, and the Gales hang on to it. Gaines looking to deal, looking to finish, and she does. Gaines are out a couple of big threes in the first half. Nard, quick pass down low. Arter, tough place to make it, and she scores. 5-point game with 3:38 to go. Hampson's in there with 4. Danielle Malden's in there with 4. And you figure they're going to have a matchup or two before this is said and done. Hampson outside against Malden, finds Bailey, and Bailey scores. The view out toward the Pacific here in Malibu, the 2013 WCC Cross Country Championships. We're getting ready for the women's race. George Devine, Seth Allison back with you at Pepperdine University, campus that moved here in the early 1970s, and just a beautiful place. San Francisco trying to win its 5th WCC championship in a row, trying to build its own dynasty here this morning. Portland with 2 of the top 4 runners right now in the race, but San Francisco with the team advantage. And we see Hottenrott with a push.
There she goes. She's got a little left in her.
Hot on the tail. Dahlberg trying to hold on to that lead, but Hottenrott has a little bit more left. And Dahlberg looks spent right now.
Certainly does.
She looks like she's got another push, though. And Dahlberg of San Francisco is going to win the individual title. A good duel at the end. And a new era begins tonight in the rivalry between the Pacific Tigers and the Santa Clara Broncos. They meet for the first time ever, matching up in the West Coast Conference in women's volleyball here at the Levy Center in Santa Clara. And a very pleasant good evening to you. I'm George Devine alongside of John Steggy. And when you think about this Pacific Ball Club, you think about their front line. They've got a great senior up front in Jillian Howard.
Well, I tell you what, she was all Big West Conference first team last year for the Tigers, and she's becoming quickly one of the best defensive middles in the history of Tiger volleyball.
And switching over to the Santa Clara side of the net, Santa Clara is trying to come back after losing 3 matches in a row. Megan Anders, one of their seniors, and sometimes when you get into trouble, you lean on your seniors a little bit.
Coach Walls is definitely counting on Megan to bring the big-time energy to the net tonight.
So Santa Clara hosting Pacific Women's Volleyball coming up next. You're watching West Coast Conference Television. And over the middle, there's Howard. And off the block, the shot for Clayton gives Santa Clara the edge. We move to our first set point. Alyssa Anderson already has 1 service ace tonight, 13 assists as the Broncos setter. Long set. Possibly another rally here. And a shot and the set for Santa Clara. So Santa Clara putting away Pacific in a thriller in set number 1.